from you. Today, career expert Mark Swartz is back, and he's going to address some of the most pressing email questions. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much, Seamus.
We're going to go through these emails, and I want to get your answers or impressions from each one of them.
Sure.
First one is from Tess, and she writes, every job hunting story says an applicant should follow up with an employer to discuss the position or to set up an interview. But many job ads stipulate no phone calls or contacts. So what do you do?
Well, on the one hand, this is about, can you follow simple instructions? We say no calls. An employer might get several hundred applications for a job that they post, and of course they don't want to get deluged by phone calls as well. On the other hand, if it's a marketing or a sales job or a TV producer job, sometimes being aggressive, going that extra mile and making the phone call shows that you're not afraid to do the whatever it takes. Precisely, yeah.
Yeah, especially with so many jobs that require initiative or a certain amount of aggression in a positive way.
Exactly. You want to be able to demonstrate that you're not intimidated.
BJ wrote in and said, I have a small facial piercing. I have an interview this week for a government job. Physical discrimination is not supposed to exist, but do you think that it would still be a wise move to take out the piercing? The operative word being small.
Yes, a discreet piercing. Well, this is about authenticity, being yourself when it comes to looking for work. On the one hand, you want to be able to fit in and make an impression on the interviewer so that they invite you back and offer you a job. On the other hand, though, what if you get in and you feel out of sorts because you can't wear a piercing? If this is part of you, if it's an integral part of your personality and who you want to be, you might want to consider looking for employment opportunities where you can be more of just who you are.
Yeah, that's a great point. Janine wrote in too, and she said, unless I am willing to do free internships, companies are not willing to consider the skills and possibilities that I can offer them. With a family to take care of, working for free is out of the question. What advice do you have for her?
I think Janine may be a mature student, given that she's already has a family to take care of, in which case co-ops or internships, which are full daytime programs, usually unpaid, may not be good for her. Great for students, though. In the case of a more mature student, volunteering, doing moonlighting in the sense of weekends, weeknights, getting into a place where you can demonstrate your skills, get someone to give you a great referral, you have better experience working around your day job.
Yeah, and maybe even asking an employer that offers a co-op or internship program if they would be flexible to offer an evening volunteer program or something like that for that person.
Absolutely. It's almost a ready-made situation.
Brittany wrote in and said, I have 1 year left in Cégep. Is it normal to be 20 years old and still feel a little lost, want to continue studying instead of heading straight into the workforce? Heck no.
Yeah, you can.
Based on my experience.
Yeah, well, being 20 years old and knowing what you want to do exactly with your life is abnormal.
Yeah, how true.
When you first came out, did you know you wanted to be an anchor person, a news personality?
Not at all.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
And here you are. Typically people will get out, they'll get a first job, work for a number of years, and find out what they like, what they don't like. And they'll also see different opportunities and gravitate toward them over time.
Got one here from George. I believe it's George. I hope I pronounced your name right. My daughter graduated with an English degree over a year ago. I've suggested she go back and get training for a specific career, such as teacher's college. I guess, what do you make of that?
Well, I think George being the parent here, you notice that it's coming from the parent and not from the daughter. She may be very happy doing a number of jobs, learning about different aspects of the work world and workplaces. On the other hand, the expectation from the father that somebody who graduates with a liberal arts degree within 1 year should be earning $50,000 or $100,000, that's just not a pragmatic way to think about it. Typically, with a liberal arts degree, you come out, you make a certain level, you build up over time, and you use that as a foundation to increase. On the other hand, if you come out with a professional designation, whether it's an MBA, engineering degree, microbiologist, whatever it is, in that case, you might have a higher salary to start with.
I got to squeeze this one in here because I think it's kind of self-explanatory, and people, everybody at home, I want you to look at the screen and just see how this is written. This is written by Kathleen. I am a soon-to-be BA graduate in English and German and recently received And we put the 6 there to let you know that we haven't corrected it. This is the way it was spelled. A diploma in drama. I'm having a difficult time even finding jobs in my field.
Kathleen.
Spell check, Kathleen. I'll just say it once.
Yeah. You know, this is an interesting one. Kathleen, you've sent in a letter to a news station or TV station. Interestingly enough, if you did that on your resume, of course, or your cover letter, you might be toast automatically, because an employer doesn't want to have to spend time training you in the basics of a native language.
Well, it's an indication of one thing or the other. It's an indication that either, you know, they're unable to write the letter properly, or they didn't bother.
Precisely.
To check it.
Precisely. And even though this is a letter to a TV station, not a resume, imagine if an employer called in and said, hey, we saw your show. Are there any interesting candidates you might be able to recommend us? How comfortable would you feel recommending Kathleen?
Exactly. Thank you very much. Very interesting.
My pleasure.